Carla loves men. She's always loved men. She's a romantic. She's had 7 great love affairs in her life. She even documented them in a sweet video right here on YouTube. I couldn't find it again. Maybe you could help me find it. Her grandmother, however, bothered her about settling down, finding a man, getting married, popping out a few bambinos, and then going back to being an elf or photographer or whatever it is she thought she was doing. Carla is a millennial. She didn't want to be married. She didn't want to have children. Carla is a romantic. She would meet the guys, fall madly in love, show him off to her friends, and they would be happy for a couple of years, and then, ciao, nothing harsh, just goodbye. He moves on. A few were bothered by her filming him in their underwear in the morning, if you know what I mean. As Carla got older, her friends caught up with her. Not as romantic as her, but they got men. But they got married. She married off all of her friends, kissed them, tapped the just married car, waved goodbye, and hugged her current boyfriend. The last friend she married off was 5 years ago, when she turned 29. Her grandmother passed away last year. Her last boyfriend was 3 years ago. He left on her birthday. He had to go back to Italy. Her grandmother would have loved for him to be her husband. He was a good boy. Nothing wrong with him. Carla didn't want to settle down, she told Grandma. Grandma didn't say a word. She thought Carla didn't have lots of boyfriends. She just didn't care to settle down with one. So she was a good girl. She just wanted to act like a man? Her grandma finally came to that conclusion and found out that that's how the women of today were. Men. Grandma didn't like it and saw lots of traps in it. For instance, look at her granddaughter, Carla. She's trapped in the idea to act like a man, but will end up lonely. Fast forward, Carla turns 40 next month. It's an adventure! Her mother came to visit her. Her mother, divorced and never married again. Her mother never even spoke to her about any boyfriend or marrying. Her mother didn't feel it was her place to say anything. Her mother didn't have a bad divorce. He was just out of her league. Totally. He was a powerful man, and she was the sort of like Carla, but older. She felt she should be able to say anything and behave any kind of way. Her father wouldn't and couldn't accept that because he was in the public eye. He remarried, but he remained friends with Carla's mother. Even his wife was friends with Carla's mother. Carla thought maybe they pitied her mom. They all came over for tea and coffee. Her father's wife was the only one to bring it up. Carla, aren't you going to get married? You're going to go on without kids? You're your mother's only child. You're actually the last of her line. When you die, there'll be no more Scaratucces. Carla's mother clutched her own necklace, faced with the news that Carla was the last of her entire family. She blamed herself for being a terrible example for a mother. Carla said, well, the men, they don't come no more. The men stopped coming. Her father's wife didn't stop. Carla, you've had 7 serious, long-term boyfriends since high school. All good boys, all totally husband material. You told each of them goodbye. Out of the blue, the men came. You just didn't want them. Now, you're an old maid. Heck, you've been an old maid for 10 years, but don't want to admit it. Your father has boys lined up looking for nice girls. But he's not going to introduce you. Do you even want kids? Carla said, no. Her father's wife shrugged. That's a hard road to hold. And no man wants a wife that refuses to have kids. What's the point of being married to that? Carla said, marriage is a romance. For 10 straight minutes, they laughed at her. Father, mother, father's wife laughed. Her mother said, come on, Carla. You're almost 40. Marriage isn't a romance. You get married for a reason. He pointed at her mother, who shrugged at him, pointing at her. You also get unmarried for a reason. Her mom shrugged, again, nodding. It's true, Carla Bambina. I'm sorry I messed you up. Her father stopped her. It's not your fault. She's a grown woman and has been for 20-something years. They sat in silence and drank tea and coffee for a while. When the sun started getting orange, they all kissed each other and said goodbye. Her father and his wife would be going on a trip and wouldn't be back for her birthday. Her mother never really came around for such things. She only showed up today because her father invited her with his wife. When her birthday came, she was all alone. All her friends had family matters to attend to. Once the other friends weren't showing, the rest didn't feel comfortable showing up either. They sent gifts. One sent money at her husband's suggestion. They thought maybe there's something wrong and money might be the issue. Carla played her YouTube video at least once a day. Every day. So romantic. The men stopped coming. Thank you all for watching the Shakaama Live Show. This is a story based upon an actual real-life scenario. Everything in it is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent or whatever, or guilty or whatever. So I won't get sued. Make sure you like, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. I'm going through some problems, so please try and support the channel with $5 or $10 at paypal.me/Shakaama or patreon.com/Shakaama. Thank you all for watching. Or buy a t-shirt. I got t-shirts and hoodies and dresses and handbags and backpacks and phone cases. I have the whole thing. Thank you all for watching. You have a fantastic day.